Okay, let's get back to Adam and Eve and why they were already grown in when they were created, and why who were they as kids. Okay, so here we go. The giants and the angels who had bore children to them, they were the heroes that were of the old and the warriors of the now renowned. So just like the snake in the garden trying to deceive Adam and Eve, the truth about how they got there and who they really were, they were really rare. So they're God's children, and they are really, really rare rare people. So the Jews and the Greeks and the Gentiles are all in the book of Acts in the Bible. Mythological creatures existed then from the Bible. So the Greek word ethnos, which means to be strong in a nation, and this is from the translation of the New Testament Bible book. The Gentiles and ethnos, they're related to Noah's son, Japheth, and who has a son, and his name is Javan. Javan controls Iona. That is full of giants. So, Adam and Eve and how they connect to us as distant relatives. We're man and woman. So, the Greeks divided between the faith and the culture until the first century of AD. In Exodus 12:37 and 38 of the New Testament, the Israelites knew and they used to worship Ramses, the Egyptian king, and the territory to sackcloth. So the Hebrew Israelites, basically at that time, they were worshiping that demigod Ramses, and he is from Egypt. And the Gentiles are Romans, Greeks, and Syrians, Egyptians, all non-Israelites. So what did Jesus say about the Gentiles in the Bible? He said to go nowhere among the Gentiles and enter no town of the Samaritans, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's in Matthew 10, number 5 and 6 in the ESV. So James and Anna are the two that existed in the tribe, and they split, making the 10 lost sheep. So it was 12. James and Anna split, and then they decided not to look for the 10 lost sheep, because Paul preaches about it in his book of Acts to the lost tribes of the lost. The Last Supper had 12 disciples, which also is a parable to that, and they were also lost. So James and Anna stayed behind. So why the 10 Commandments are chosen for us in God's grace? Follow God's law. Moses' wife actually carried him in an ark just like Noah. Noah built the second ark, and Moses traveled during that time. And after the flood, Noah's 40-day flood, God gave Moses 10 commandments, and his tablets were made with everything God wanted after Moses delivered the Israelites out of slavery in Egypt. He then receives the message of the 10 Commandments from God on Mount Sinai, and that's Sinai. The law of the land is written on 2 tablets there, and the Rembrandt painting of Michelangelo in 1513, he painted ending their work in 1659. It shows examples of this. It shows all of the examples. Michelangelo was very popular at painting pictures of the Bible, and also the Nephilim. The Nephilim are giants, and they are also mythical beings. So what you should be doing in 2024 is reading the books about the Bible, Passover, Christ's crucifixion, and the Last Judgment. In the celebrating of Passover with the 12 disciples in Jerusalem and Jesus, Judas, Peter, and John all are in a group together at the table of the Last Supper, but Judas leaves the early because he left before they broke the bread. So basically, they had unleavened bread and wine, aromatized wine scent. The dishes that the cuisine was being stewed with lamb meat, some olives, dates, and a little fish sauce with some fish oil and some bitter herbs. So why would anyone want to miss that meal? A wonderful meal like that? I don't know. But anyhow, he sold Jesus' location for 30 coins of silver. This was Judas, and he's the one who left early. As Jesus was arrested, Peter had denied knowing Jesus 3 times before the rooster called out and woke the town up. So what happened next is the way Jesus already knew what was going to happen to him, and he decided to take this fight for all of humanity, for us, and he died for all of our sins that we have caused. One of the soldiers that believed in him was Cornelius, and he was a centurion, which is a mythical creature.